proceed with your cross, Ms. Smith, whenever you're ready. Thank you.
Okay, Ms. Linderholm. I want to begin by talking to you about your testimony just now that you were scared of Mr. Jones. Did I understand that correctly?
I'm sorry?
Did I understand you correctly that your testimony today is that you were scared of Mr. Jones?
When I saw him, yes.
Okay, is that why you went ahead and went into his house?
No,
And is that why you went ahead and went to into his house knowing that no one else was there besides you and him?
I wanted to talk to him about Rob Dixon.
Okay, so besides being despite being afraid of this man, you go into his house.
Oh, absolutely. I wanted to
Okay.
talk to him.
Now,
The direct link between those two.
Your Honor, I object to that and move to strike that statement.
Mr. Wade, your position.
No objection to that.
You're agreeing to the objection.
Yes.
The objection is sustained. The jurors to disregard.
May I have a moment?
Yes.
You never, you spoke to law enforcement several times, right, in the course of this case?
Yes.
Okay. And you talked to Investigator Berg twice, right?
2 or 3 times.
Okay, sure. And then you talked to 2 different detectives at a McDonald's one time?
Yes.
Okay. And then you talked to Investigator Havenstride over there, right? Over the phone, maybe.
I guess I did, yeah.
Okay. And then you spoke to a woman investigator over the phone once or twice, right?
I don't remember that.
You don't remember talking to a female investigator?
No.
Okay. But in none of those interviews did you indicate to any of those investigators that you were scared of Mr. Jones?
I was. I don't know if I indicated it, but I was.
Okay. But the question is whether you told them you were or not. Did you tell any of those people, any of those law enforcement investigators who were investigating the disappearance of Ms. Bergfeld, that you were afraid?
I'm pretty sure I said it to somebody.
Okay. Now, when you arrived at Mr. Jones's home on June 27th, he did not appear surprised that it was you and not Ms. Bergfeld, right?
I don't know if he was surprised or he just was expecting somebody to show.
Okay. And he didn't appear upset that it was you and not Ms. Bergfeld.
I can't answer that for him.
Okay. Well, I'm not asking you what was in his mind. I'm asking you what you observed. And before you were able to.
I don't know what you mean by fine.
Well, that was your testimony before, right? That the call went fine?
I don't remember if I said that or what I said. All I know is it just left me with a really awful feeling when I left. And I told Paige to stay away from him.
Objection. Move to strike hearsay.
Yeah, Judge, it wasn't hearsay, it's what she told Paige, so.
The objection's overruled.
I mean, is everything hearsay because you don't hear what you want to hear?
Objection. Move to strike non-responsive.
The objection sustained. You'll need to ask for or wait for the lawyer to ask a question, please. Thank you. The jurors should disregard the witness's last comment. Thank you.
Okay.
Excuse me.
Okay. Now, you were present when Ms. Bergfeld, would answer her Models Inc. phone, right?
At times I was.
Okay. And when she answered the phone, when she answered her Models Inc. phone, she acted like a dispatcher or an operator.
Many times.
And you would hear her describe different women that she'd be offering them in.
A brunette or redhead or blonde.
But to your knowledge, in her Models Inc. business, these women didn't really exist.
Well, I don't know who else she had working for her. Sometimes it was just her.
Okay. But but you did know sometimes of some other women?
No, I didn't know. I
Okay.
didn't know what her private business was in that respect.
But it was your impression that she made her business look bigger than it was actually.
At times.
And you knew that this business she was running was risky.
I told her it was very dangerous.
Okay, and that she could get hurt?
That,
In part because she's meeting up with strangers, right?
yeah, you never know what you're going to encounter,
Sure.
what kind of psycho you're going to encounter.
And she didn't use security, right?
I'm sorry?
She didn't use security?
Well, I know she had her dog with her quite a few times.
Okay, but she didn't bring another person with her?
I don't really know. I would say no, but I wasn't there.
When you were babysitting the kids, would Mr. Dixon sometimes call and talk to them over the phone?
He would call constantly,
And you would overhear these calls, right?
some of them.
Okay, you could overhear some of the calls when he was talking to his kids?
Right, and then I picked up the phone a couple times.
Oh, and you talked to Mr. Dixon directly?
Yeah.
Okay. And you knew from picking up the phone directly or from overhearing what the kids were saying?
Objection, Judge. I think she's heading towards an area where she's going to get into what she overheard on these calls, and it's all hearsay. And it's irrelevant.
Do you want to respond to the objection?
Yeah, in terms of hearsay, I'm not going to be requesting any assertions. I'm going to be asking Ms. Linderholm what her impressions are and what the general topics were of the conversations, what questions were being asked, and then in terms of relevance, this information is relevant because Ms. Linderholm testified about taking care of the kids, being the babysitter for Ms. Bergfeld, and so I believe that it's at least res gesti in terms of contextualizing that relationship that she had with Ms. Bergfeld.
Can I see the lawyers at the bench, please? Thank you. Feel free to stretch. Thank you. (9 o'clock in the morning), yes, thank you.
Judge, can we approach real fast before the jury does?
Yes. If you'll hold on just one moment, please, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you. All right, thank you, ladies and gentlemen. 9 o'clock tomorrow, please. Thanks. Ms. Linderholm, you're free to go until 9 o'clock. Thank you.
Piece of crap killer.
For the record, our jury's left the courtroom. I don't know quite what Ms. Linderholm said when she passed by the defense counsel table. She said something, I heard the word crap children, that's all I heard, but, or it might have been something else. But
Judge, what Ms. Linderholm said when she looked in the direction of Mr. Jones was piece of crap killer, is what I heard. I think my investigator agrees with that, Ms. Smith. My investigator agrees I'm accurately reciting what she stated. Judge, my concern at this point is the jury was still in, partially, not all of the jury, but I think there was still some jurors in the courtroom. I'm going to ask the court tomorrow, before she takes the stand, to instruct her.
just gonna come back in here, please. Thank you. Mr. Rubenstein.
Judge, first, I'll say I did overhear the comment as well as I think Mr. Waite did, and I would agree that that's what was said.
Yes.
I also wanted to make a little bit of a record about the discussion up at the bench, but I think we're live streaming now. I would either ask to approach and make the record, or I would just ask that the audio be turned off of the stream.
To Mr. Jones.
I'm just so upset. when
What
I
was
look
it
at
again,
that
Mr.
thing.
Colvin? Piece of crap killer?
That's my recollection, yes.
I mean, I'm so upset, just, this whole thing is very upsetting.
Sorry, I need to.
I mean, I'm so upset, just, this whole thing is very upsetting.
Sorry, I need to.
Just under a lot of stress, and I can't help myself when I see him. I mean, if he had done that to a friend of yours, what would you do?
Well, we're not here to discuss what I would do. I certainly wouldn't do what you just did, quite
I
frankly.
mean, I'm just, you know, it just has gotten to me. I don't know how her parents can sit through this and look at him. It's just very difficult for me,
All right, well, first of all,
and I am sorry.
what I'm going to do, Ms. Linderholm, is I'm going to consider, tomorrow we have to decide whether or not what you did is going to have an impact on this trial, and that will make a difference in how I proceed at this point.
I don't think anybody heard it except,
Well, I heard what I thought you said, and it was different from what I thought you said, something about children. So I'm hopeful that the jurors didn't hear what you said, but they may have better hearing than I do. So at this point, I'm going to let you go tonight and come back tomorrow morning. And we can deal with it further tomorrow. But I will advise you, if you make any other comments like that, you can be held in contempt of court, be sentenced to up to a year in jail. Understand that?
I do.
All right, thank you. You're free to go until 9 o'clock tomorrow morning.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Mr. Rubenstein. Anything else for the record?
Not from the people, Your Honor.
Mr. Colburn. All right, thank you. We're in recess until 9 o'clock tomorrow morning then. Thank you.